Welcome back, my dudes. We're back in Boulder Hamilton, and let's see what today's session brings. It's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, because I haven't been here in a bit, they perfectly have 2 new walls, so a lot of new stuff to try. As usual, I started off with some more chill climbs. Start off with the 2 first, mostly concentrating on foot placement again, and just enjoy the chill climbing that progressively gets a little bit harder. The 4 was pretty chill, and I just had about enough wingspan to actually do the first move statically. Yellow 5 is gonna be a good first challenge. Still not sure if the middle section is supposed to be dynamic, but I'll figure it out. The yellow 5 wasn't that bad overall, but I really struggled with getting a stable position for the start, because the starting hold where you need both hands on is basically non-existent, so you really just need to stay stable on the wall. And it took me a few tries to figure it out, but I got closer fairly quickly, and as soon as I got into a position where I actually had stable feet and I was able to touch it with both hands, I managed to do the rest of the climb fairly easily. God, the hardest part was just getting the start. Holy shit, there's nothing to hold on to. Let's take a look at the green 6. Looks pretty wild as well, but let's see. This 6 was pretty much the perfect escalation from the 5, because again, I struggled mostly on the first, and in this case the second move as well. You needed to jump into this pretty weird press hold position, and from there it was just crazily hard to find a way to get your foot up, and I really struggled with that in the beginning, trying to get my foot on straight. Even though I had a few cases where I got really close, it never felt like I would get into a position where it actually would feel nice to continue from there. So I knew I needed to change something about my beginning. So I got the idea to go on with my heel instead of going straight on, which felt way nicer, even though it was kind of weird in the beginning. But I started getting to the next hold, even though it was just hard getting consistent with getting stable on the heel, because it was only slightly on. But I started getting quite consistent with it, getting over to the holds, but it was quite hard to stand up from there. But I started to find my nice positioning for the start, so it was way easier to get over to the hold, even though I then realized that the hold is not nice to hold on to, so I definitely needed to change something to be able to move with my left hand. So I grabbed around the volume, which made it so much easier to start moving, and I pretty much breezed through the rest of the climb, getting the high foot, going left hand around the nice hold around the corner, and it's done.
Just needed to stay stable on there. The rest really wasn't that bad.
And then as a fun intermission, I moved on to this 4, which is basically just introducing the bad hang. And it's just so much fun to do that move, going upside down to be able to hold on at the end hold that's below the starting hold. And then moved on to this pink 6, and that one's just hard.
Yeah, the holds are way worse than expected.
The starting holds are way worse than they look like, and you're just constantly getting to holes that don't feel nice. And that one's kind of blind jump to get there. I just held on for dear life, but that's even just the easy section of the climb. The moves are just getting harder and harder towards the end, and by the time that I'm getting to the upper section, I'm already so pumped out that I could barely hold on.
It's so much worse than expected.
Most of these holds only have specific places where they actually feel good because of the overhang. And you also need to keep a lot of tension between your feet and your hands to stay in on the wall and not swing out with most of the moves. Every time when I got to this point, I kind of started trying out new stuff. I kind of thought that maybe a high left heel is gonna help. And it definitely feels nice for switching the hands and getting further on, but the hold on the outside tip of the volume is just so bad. I barely have the strength to pinch that hold. It doesn't matter with which hand I go there, because by the time that I get there, I'm already so pumped out that I can barely hold on. On this try, I managed to get both my hands up there and slowly switch my feet, but from the position I was in, it was just way too hard to continue moving and get a grip on something properly.
Yeah, got another 8 that I want to try. I've tried it before, kinda got far, so let's see how far I'm gonna get now. It's this white 8, and the start is rough but not too bad, but the upper section is pretty hard again.
This 8 doesn't look as bad when you look at it as it actually is. It's really slippery at the start. You need a really intricate body positioning again, and then from there it's not really getting that easier. You go into the press. When you actually hit the press, it starts feeling nice on your feet as well. So standing up from there isn't too bad, but then you slowly need to work your right foot over to the next volume and get to this really, really hard press move to get over to the other side. While doing the press move, you need to switch your left hand and kind of use the little hold as an under press with both thumbs, and then you get to a kind of nice 0.5 millimeter crimp on the right volume. But from there, your right side of your body is so cramped and you need to get up to the upper ledge of the volume, and it's just really hard to get any leverage of your right hand to actually get up to the volume.
I'm so fucking pumped.
On that day, I just gave it another 2 tries where I pretty much failed with the starting sequence.
Okay, I think I'll go for the 8 on the slab wall again, see how far I can get this time.
I'll make it quick for you guys. I failed a lot again. I've barely come any further than I did the last times. It's getting more and more slippery the more I go there. I finally managed to stand up after, believe me, a lot of tries, and then basically slipped off as soon as I went for the next hold. So that was great as well. And after that I only gave it one more try, and that frustrated me enough for that day.
That was just so frustrating. It's insane. Let's try the 7.
7 was a lot of fun as well. The starting position on that one is fine compared to the others, but still not easy. It's quite hard to grab the next hole. It's around the corner, and then it's so hard to stop the swing that I pretty quickly decided not to do the bump over, because I realized the upper corner of the volume is quite nice to grab and lean on, and then you can slowly move over and grab the next hold around the corner. But then the foot swap was really hard. Same problem as the bump over. To actually stay in the wall, you need to do the move really slowly. I got consistent with the first moves really quickly, but definitely struggled on the foot swap for a while. But kinda with every try got closer and closer on how I wanted it to be. I realized that for this foot swap, if I go left foot from the behind instead of from the top, it's way nicer to stop the rotation and stay close to the wall. I then made the mistake to grab the wrong side pull, at least for me, which made it really hard to get further on top. So I was kind of stuck in that position, didn't really know where to go, and slipped off.
Way harder than it looks. But I'm getting there. Just need a little longer break to get rid of the pop.
From there on, I pretty much had the foot swap down and could concentrate on the upper half of the climb. On this try, I decided to just immediately skip the other side pulls and go for the upper one, which gave me way more open space to actually put my left foot up on the right volume. From there on, the last move isn't that complicated, it's just really hard. So I really struggled on that. You have a really bad side pull and kind of underclean, and I was already so pumped that it didn't feel like I had enough power to hold onto it and actually stand up to the last hold.
Let's see if I can do it. Like, I'm starting to be really pumped, and all of these holds are so much worse than they look like. Especially that second to last undercling that I need to hold on to the stand up. It just sucks. It's not nice.
I had the rest of the climb down from that point on, but I just for the hell couldn't do the last move. It felt so uncomfortable.
It just doesn't feel nice. I need to pull on it to press myself up, but it just doesn't feel like I can do it.
I gave it one more try, but really struggled again, and at this point I was so pumped that even the rest of the climb was such a hassle to even get to the end.
That was not gonna happen anymore today. Maybe on a fresh day when I still have some pull on my left hand, but right now, God, it is a little bit frustrating to fail on the last move consistently, but the more I try it, the more I struggle with the rest of it as well. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for today.
Well, I had a fun session, and overall it was a pretty nice one as well. But I definitely didn't feel physically as strong as I did in some of the last ones. So definitely something that still can get better. But overall, I'm kind of proud of the consistency that I get with some of the harder climbs. And there's some really fun new ones. I'm kind of sad I didn't get the 7 because failing on the last move kind of sucks. But we're getting there. Let's see what the next session brings. But I'm still quite optimistic that by the end of the year I'll get 1 V8. It's all about just getting one that's hopefully my style then as well. But I feel and see the progress. So I hope you still enjoyed watching it, even though I didn't do that many hard ones, but we'll see. So I hope I see you in the next one, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. So bye bye.